it's Shelby. I'm here in Lakeland, and this is episode 2 of 2 creative outlet shows. And I'm loving the responses that I'm getting from my friends who are telling me what they're doing, and they're doing their writing prompts and sending them to me. That's awesome. So I wanted to start with a couple things. One, you're doing an awesome job out there, staying sane and being creative. I like what you're doing, and I'm seeing it. And then 2, I want to tell you that this show is about resourcefulness. I know a few of you might hear that and say, resourcefulness. I've been wearing this outfit for 3 days because I'm social distancing, and nobody cares. My family doesn't mind, my neighbors don't mind, and I don't have to see my coworkers except on video, and they can't really tell. So, what I'm here to tell you is water conservation is great. Cleanliness is better right now. Finally, I want to talk about being resourceful right now in terms of making surgical masks. There is a need for them, and even if the masks that you make are like the ones that my mom and I are making, mainly my mom. Let's get started.
Put it on your face.
Alright, I got some wonderful feedback from episode 1, and they wrote along with me and they took some notes, and I'm like, wow, thanks guys. We're together in this. Okay, so if you remember, the prompt was, what I can do today is ... Alright, so Beth sent me her response to the prompt, and that was, cut myself some slack. And I just thought that was absolutely brilliant and called for and necessary at this point. And I don't want any of you creatives to feel bad about that. If you feel like, gosh, I need to be doing stuff, I want to be creating, I want to be making, well, I hear you, and me too, and it's super important, just chill out. Just chill out sometimes. And you know what? The neuroscience supports it. Yeah, it does. So I found this article, and there have been numerous studies about this, I'm sure. But in all seriousness, there was this article in Inc. magazine, and they were quoting Bridget Schultz, who wrote a book about basically how overworking can tire you out and make you less creative. So she says, when we are idle, in leisure, our brains are most active. The default mode network lights up, which, like airport hubs, connects parts of our brain that don't typically communicate. So a stray thought, a random memory, an image can combine in novel ways to produce novel ideas. So Beth, you just cut yourself some slack, you relax, you take it easy, and I'll try to as well. And also wanted to share this photo about this piñata project that Beth made with the girls at home, because it was just fantastic. So she made this piñata from a heart-shaped balloon, a mail order catalog, and homemade paste that was a combination of flour, water, and salt. She says, yes, it was a multi-day project, and I am curious, what'd you put in it? What candy was in there? Oh, yes, Stephanie. Stephanie is one of the most magical, creative, productive people that I know, and she actually confided that her well was running dry yesterday, and you know what? Mine too, Stephanie, mine too. And so I thought, well, I'll take up this invitation that I had from Kathy, who's one of my mom's friends and lives nearby, and I'll tour her garden. Who knows what'll come of it? So I went and checked it out, and I wanted to share some pictures from that trip. All right, so Kathy's garden was a great example, actually her whole property was a great example of resourcefulness. Many of the plants were there originally, like the bamboo clumps, just clumps of colorful bamboo. I didn't realize bamboo came in different colors until I saw all of them right next to each other. Maybe I need to pay more attention to things and be more detail-oriented. We'll cover that in another episode. But really, they were beautiful all side by side. She lives in a 1,000-square-foot Meyer Lemon carriage house from probably the 1920s. The original house was torn down, condemned, couldn't be saved. So she has this extended front yard that's all plants and grass. And that's where her garden is. And her yellow house is set in the back of the property. I saw so many bromeliads, orchids, split-leaf philodendrons in bloom, and even got introduced to a Buddha belly plant that was growing out of a stump. She has some grass in the very front of her yard, and she made a deal with the neighbor that if he mows her grass, she will landscape his backyard as her bromeliads and other plants split and multiply. He's getting less grass and more of a thoughtful garden and backyard experience. She's getting her front lawn mowed. So I appreciate Kathy letting me come over. It goes a long way, and it can lend itself to beautiful places, serene places where you can sit and relax and be in nature and let your creativity show up and just be available to it. Put your receptors out and listen. So I hope you found this show helpful, and thanks for listening. And if you are doing anything creative, I would love to hear about it. You can find me at Yarrow Creative. And I'd love to see some visuals too that I can share. If you're doing things that you think are pretty remarkable or lighten you up, let us know about it. Thanks.